சப்ஜெக்ட் தான் போடல என்ன சப்ஜெக்ட் எதுவும் போடல பிளைனா இமெயில் சப்ஜெக்ட் எதுவும் போடல அதனால பிளைனா இருக்கும் email subject to the report. Started data first. Email subject to the report. Data. இன்னைக்கு என்ன கேள்வி இருக்கு படிச்சதுல இன்னைக்கு என்ன கேள்வி வீட்டுக்கு போகல என்ன கேள்வி இல்லையா ஆமா நீங்க என்ன கேட்குறீங்களோ அதான் டாபிக் இன்னைக்கு
பயணம் காற்றை போல் அமையாது
பயணம்
காற்றை போல் அமையாது
அது எது இருக்குது அது வேண்டாம் அப்புறம் அடிப்படையில் காற்றுடைய வேகத்துக்கு ஈடுபடுத்தல் எதுவும் கிடையாது காற்றுடைய வேகத்துக்கு ஈடுபடக்கூடிய ஒரு வேகம் கிடையாது அந்த காற்றை போல லேசானதும் கிடையாது அந்த காற்றை போல மறைவானதும் கிடையாது இந்த 3 அம்சங்களையும் கொண்டிருக்கக்கூடிய அந்த காற்று இப்ப நம்ம பேசிட்டு இருக்கோம் உலகம் பூரா நிறைஞ்சிருக்கு ஒரு சத்தியம் உலகத்துல அவ்வளோனையும் பரவி ஒரு செகண்ட்ல பரவி நிற்குது இது யாரால முடியும் அதே மாதிரி என்னுடைய எண்ணங்கள் என்னுடைய தூய்மைக்கு தகுந்த மாதிரி அவ்வளோ வேகமா அவ்வளோ சுகமானதாக அமையும் பார்க்க முடியாத ஒன்று சுகமானது அழகானதாக காற்றை போல அமையணும் அதுல மெசேஜ் எடுத்துட்டு போகக்கூடிய அந்த காற்று உயிரோட்டம் கொடுக்கக்கூடிய அந்த காற்று இப்ப நான் பேசுறது உங்க சுவாசத்துல தான் இருக்குது காதுல கேட்ட விளங்காது சுவாசத்தை இறங்கினா உணர முடியும் காற்று தான் சவுண்டை கேரி பண்ணுன்னு சொன்னா அது காதுக்கும் அந்த சவுண்டு தான் உணர்வுக்கும் அந்த மெசேஜ் ஸோ உள்மூச்சு வாங்கும்போது இது இன்ஸ்பிரேஷன் அந்த இன்ஸ்பிரேஷன்ல தான் உங்களுடைய உணர்வு இருக்கும் காதில் வாங்கினா எந்த பிரயோஜனம் கிடையாது இந்த காதில் வாங்குறதும் ஏற்கனவே இருக்கக்கூடிய அந்த இன்ஸ்பிரேஷனோட இணையணும் அந்த சத்தியத்தோட அந்த ட்ரூத்தோட இணையணும் அப்படி இணைஞ்சிருந்தா அதுதான் உங்களுக்கு ஒரு நன்மை ஒரு சுகம் அப்படி இல்லைன்னு சொன்னா கன்ஃபியூஷன் என்ன பேசுறாங்கன்னு புரியல அல்லது குழப்பங்களோட சேர்ந்து ஒரு புரியாத்தன்மையோட ஒரு விருப்பம் இது நமக்கு காற்று போல அது என்னைக்கு வேணா இருக்கும் இன்னைக்கு இப்ப இருந்தது You can't hear, no, can't hear. You can. You can just say, if you'll be comfortable sitting in chair. Are you comfortable sitting there? You on chair. So, what is your question today? Sudhir, have you got any question today? Anything with regard to whatever you have heard already, or if you have read anything new, is there any contemplation required? Is it okay? Sound?
Yeah.
Any sound?
I'm fine.
This fan sound should be reduced.
It's fine. My understanding is thought is got connection with real thought.
Thought is connected with
Health.
health.
Body physiology.
Yeah.
If you prehistoric people, they didn't have language.
Come here.
Does it mean they had a better health without language?
Yes. Without the language of human being,
Yeah.
they have better health, they have better mentality, uncorrupted mentality. Only when I start talking nonsense, mostly without my heart, if I talk, it is nonsense. So from my heart, with a feel, I am talking the truth that makes sense. Mostly people talk without sense, just for the sake of talking, exchanging, chit-chatting. Mostly, this is what is happening. So we are drawn away from the truth to the level of physical pleasures of this world, momentary pleasures. Definitely we are corrupted because we now want this momentary pleasures. Momentary pleasures after it has gone away, we want it again whenever we are feeling alone. In this angle, we don't want the language to be spoken by the people from their outwardness, but let them speak from the inside. It should be more profound, but what we experience is most profound. Am I speaking to you with specific answer, or I have not got any question properly?
It all started with the mind, and according to me, mind is made in language. So
Mind is?
it's a language.
I
It's
don't
a
think so.
thoughts. It's flow of thoughts.
Mind is a word,
Yeah.
but what do you mean by mind is not a language but a feeling?
But man is only was thoughts. It's
Can you
flow of
define
thoughts.
mind?
If I'm thinking something, I'm using my mind.
Yeah, using mind is not here. Mind is here. If you disturb this shakes up, not this one. If you are angry because of something, turbulence in the thinking level, or if you are despair, it affects here, not here. The effect of the affection may be felt there as a tired or something, but the real feel, perturbed feeling, is only happening in the heart because of the palpitation, because of the sluggishness in circulation. Everything is happening here, and suddenly my breathing will be growing worse also. Sometimes because of the grief, I am thinking more on the line of grief. I will have some choking here also.
Stroking happened because of something negative happening.
In the mind,
Yeah.
you are not clear about certain things.
Yeah.
When you are not clear, you are drawn down the river flow into the depths of the valleys. So we will not be carried away by the thought without staying properly, or staying steadily with enough substance to stand, so that we will not be carried away by the emotions. The emotions are strong affections for us, everlasting affections it causes. Emotions. Affections, I mean afflictions, distresses. These emotions should be removed once and for all. And you must have stability of mind and peace. And I need perseverance in peace also. When I'm not getting peace, my perseverance is towards peace. I am putting my effort more and more towards peace. Wanting to know the truth, that's it. It's not mere peace, wanting to know the truth. The truth is abstract, the word peace is abstract, the feel is abstract, and the mind is abstract. I am comfortable is abstract. This is what life is. So there's no language in the form of a few words making a sentence, and thereafter we carry a meaning physical, whatever is applied or written in the dictionary, we apply it physically. This language is unfit for our body, for our life. Something to free us from all the sufferings is absolutely not possible with the language. But with the feel, because you are thinking, it is possible. In your thinking, you are away from language and above all languages. Because feeling and language are, one is higher level, another is the lower level in form and shape. The language is in form and shape. But thinking is going above the language. Hello? Humble me, customer.
I think that when you say thinking is about language, is it possible to think without language?
After that, you can communicate through language. In thinking, there is no language. If I am communicating the fruits of my thinking, I need language. And that language, if I am clear about what I have thought about, the truth, if I have gotten from the thought, definitely my communication will be clear. Otherwise, the communication is not clear. Only to communicate the language,
Yeah, you can.
but to think, the language should be stopped. It's a different thing. Tell me, how do you think now? What is it is the only thing. Thereafter, the wavelengths go from one level to another level. That wavelength, even the audibility also has got certain wavelengths. Beyond the wavelengths on both sides, we won't be able to hear. So there's a wavelength, mind wavelength, nobody can understand by way of language, by way of audibility. Something is going on inside, finding the truth. Now I am seeing you, you are contemplating. Now I am not saying you are contemplating and then I am believing. Even before that, I am understanding that you are able to learn. You are able to learn certain things. It is not that you are straight away coming out with a argumentative effort, but you are trying to understand. I am saying now, after understanding, you are trying to understand, the word goes and then I am understanding. Hello? 9 o'clock, 1 o'clock. So from me, I am giving you that you are contemplating certain things. Now you are beginning to think certain things. It's not that you are saying I am thinking this. No need. So where is the question of language here in thinking? I don't know the result at all. I don't know. I want the goal. That means I want the truth. There's no question of me following the truth, but I am taken to the truth, where there is a revelation, clarity of thought. Then I am beginning to make it up in my language to communicate.
Thinking in mother tongue.
Thinking is revealed in your mother tongue for communication of things. Thinking is not tongue at all. Thinking is not tongue at all.
Something
A child is thinking. 3-month-old child, 4-month-old child, thinking process going on. In what language? It wants something. But in what language? It only can cry. A sound, simple sound. Because there's no language. But thinking has no language.
We call it instinct.
Huh?
Child cries. Does the child think?
Yes. A lot of thinking is going on in the child. 5-month-old children, two children. One is being beaten. The other child is just seeing. Thinking process goes. Somebody is beating the other child. The child cries. The face of the other child also changes. Something is going on, but it is not correct. What is going in front of it is not correct. It is not language at all. The face changes. Without language, the face changes means something else is going on beyond language.
So where I was coming from, myself, by altering your thinking, you can alter your life.
Pardon?
I was coming from the premise, by altering your thinking, you can alter your life, quality of your life. So, my understanding, previous understanding was, thinking is constituted in language. So by altering your language, you can alter your life. For me, then what is thinking? For me to alter my life, I should alter my thinking.
Suppose I am saying to you about tomorrow, you want to be planning today or devising methodologies today, or you want to be hopeful of tomorrow. If you want to be hopeful of tomorrow, tell me the language in which the hope is constituted by. Now you are groping in the dark without language.
Yeah.
This is what the thinking is. The moment you reach that level, it is clear. Now you'll be able to communicate. You know, child understands the mother, not mother the word. She is working for me, the other one is not working for me. It's not working, anything is not there. Feels better. This mother, this is the other people not feeling so good. So it's a feel. Feel has no language. I can say it is feeling rough, that's all. But I can only feel. With words, I cannot make you feel the same way I am feeling. Because I am saying rough, you cannot feel the way I am feeling. This is how he feels. Okay, he means he says rough. Nothing is definitive about language, all imaginary. Our heart, you may try to express yourself, it is still. Yes, the language speaks in undertone. Yes. So how can the language, altering the language will take you to a better level? When original language is itself is not sufficient for me.
No, the whole thing, Dr. Now you're communicating me through language. I'm listening, I'm contemplating, and I'm bringing in my changes.
If I am talking on the earthy level, there will be an argument. You'll be talking from the earthy level, I'm talking on the earthy level.
Yeah.
There will be an argument. There's nothing to contemplate and think. Because I have reached a certain truth, and the revelation is all anew. When I am, that revelation is already there in your heart to accept the truth. That is making sense. Definitely, the heart to accept. If sounds don't make sense, I am not comfortable here. This is how I feel. So the language of communication is different now. Though the same language I'm using, communication, the language is different when we speak of revelations. Clarity with clarity and sense. That language is entirely different.
Okay.
So the thinking and the revelation brings us to a point to communicate amicably for the present situation and for the time to come tomorrow. Sandhya, yeah. Tell me which part still you are getting stuck up. Thinking has no language. Communication, after the clarity, there is definitely language, but definitely the language is different to that of the language what we normally talk. It seems as the same word, but it is the thinking process in you. For example, as you start thinking anything, you tell me how you are thinking, except the word how. What is it? What is it? What is it? Thereafter, you are being elevated to a different wavelength to reach the truth of whatever you are wanting. At that level, at that stage of truth, you are reaching. You want the highest truth, still you are traveling. Only one word is there: what, why, how, which, when. That's it. This takes you to the thinking process. Nothing more. You are not guiding yourself into thinking process. You want the target, you have the question whether it's true or not, or how to be reached, and then it is when the distance is maintained. Your traveling is by way of the wavelength, the mind length. the mind level. It's got no construction at all in any form, language form or physical form.
That is also called intelligence. Every human has that.
I don't know. Intelligence means what is the meaning of intelligence?
If somebody
You tell me the definition of it. Because we will say one thing, definition will be other.
when you say which, why, when, and how, the way
Yes.
the mind
Yes.
wavelength travels. So that is inbuilt in each one.
So that is the inbuilt sense, not intelligence. We have to be sensible people. We cannot go insane. So between sanity and insanity, where we stand is the question. The intelligence, brilliance, exuberance, all these things we don't know because it doesn't make sense. You may be intelligent, I am knowledgeable, he is understandable, he is perceiving, he is commendable, he is so many things. We don't want such things. Whether you understand or not, that's what's important. If I make sense, you can understand. If you don't understand, I am still making nonsense.
When you say that every thought process has a standard wavelength, and it automatically reaches its goal.
What do you mean by standard wavelength? Wavelength, I just use the word to communicate. That means no words, no constructed thing to carry me forward towards my destiny, an invisible goal. That invisible goal with everyone is peace. Is there anything, any other goal other than peace? So the goal itself is their peace. Give me a definition to peace. You can give another synonym: tranquility, harmony, friendliness. So many things you can give. But there is no definition which can join certain words and make it a sentence. Any abstract thing, no definition. Nothing. So where's the question of language now?
And continuing with the changing the track, continuing with the wanting of peace, sometimes there is a loss of peace. Like a child phenomena. The child is getting the good feeling in the mother. And some other person picks up the child is uncomfortable. And that is violation of the feel of the child. So the child cries. This phenomenon continues throughout the life. We want peace. Our peace is right there in front of us, but somebody disrupts our peace.
Your peace is with you, not with others.
Take the comparison of the child. The peace is there, the mother. But without even the freedom of the child, somebody else tries to pick up.
If only you don't talk to the child from the past, its peace is not altered. Right? Because you use your language. With that, you use your moderate and immoderate sense also.
And we are thinking myself as a child, and how my child,
Yes,
my peace
we
is
are
going.
we are instilling our habit and our understanding to the child when we start talking before the child. It picks up the mundane values of our communications, and thereafter it reciprocates and reproduces by way of emotions. If only we don't have any emotions against the child, until such time he begins to understand certain syllables from you, definitely his mind is at peace. It has got no fear, no worry, nothing. Only when we start meddling with her peace and we cajole her much, we carry her along and we keep on talking, our sense is instilled into it. Because they are about to speak now. Everything has been gotten from the people around. Sense and nonsense, everything. Nonsense is more. Definitely their understanding is altered already. So speak to them only the verses of the Veda, whatever it is, or speak from a higher intelligence. Don't speak on the lower mundane level of communication and talking, asking the child to say who is mother, who is father, all those things not necessary. Who is God? Ask the child. Then it will contemplate.
Here I meant myself as a child, and the deception that happens to me. I don't need to
You cannot consider yourself as a child because you are an adopted child now. You want to be a child could be your need. I consider myself as a child cannot be. If you consider yourself a child, you cannot speak now. I want to be in that fullest, finest capacity to understand unadulterated mentality, same as I want. We can prefer that, we want that. You can opt for that. Simply, I cannot say I want to be a child now, considering me as a child. We don't know who a child is. We ourselves don't know how a child is.
Whatever it is trying to say, this place is irresponsible or worldly situation determines this.
Worldly situations are altered the mind. Altered the mind.
Whatever may be the worldly situation, but still he is responsible for this place, in spite of the circumstances.
How he is responsible? Because he has not touched the sense.
Yeah.
He has not gone back to his sense. So how to go back to the sense is Veda. You don't want to be a child now. Instead you say, I want to be a new creation.
Child has no control who is going to pick the child. So the child cries. As a grown up, he's got the control over it. Since you gave the example of a child, Dr. said you cannot compare yourself to a child. You have control over it, like circumstances. You can think to go whatever.
Controlling means you have certain force against the child.
Yeah.
That force is not applicable if you are follower of Veda. Hello? Not a question.
He says he got the context from where I am saying, but really I got your context. The moment the word control comes, that I have a control over it, that means I have a control over more things. That itself is violation of my
The child is now a slave. How can he control others when we are out of control? That is terrible force to be applied on us. Unless I have my sanity preserved in me, I don't need to control anyone because I am utterly at peace. Because my peace is disturbed, I am controlling. So what does now the Veda says now? Tell me from whatever you want from Quran, from the verses you have read. Now we will touch the topic from whatever we are reading. Because the Quran is contextual. Every single sentence will be answering the present situation. If it is, the Veda is for all beings of all time. And in a single being, in all its minutes and situations. If it doesn't suit, then it is not Veda. Okay, let's take chapter 2, 213. So I will touch from whatever you asked. Everything. Sanjay Rudilka.
I just want to add to this, maybe it will become possible.
Huh?
From where we are, I just want to add one more thing. That everybody wants to maintain, we want to maintain our peace. And we don't want to control.
I want to maintain my peace. You want to maintain your peace. There is no generalization. We want our peace.
Now, the class, somebody is smoking, and I'm in a closed room, and my situation demands me to be in that room, and my peace is disturbed.
Now, the whole atmosphere is polluted not only with smoke, but with every toxin, obnoxious substances, and dust and smell. It has been polluted. We got used to it. So we don't feel anything. So my peace is okay with every dust and every pollution around. Even the cars are passing by, there's no question that I am disturbed by it. So the peace is with you, not with what is prevailing outside of you. What pollution is lacking now here, tell me? Only the smoke is new and is coming in a concentrated form. It will get diluted in due course and you'll get used to it also. But nothing will happen to you. Don't use your knowledge, something will happen to me. This is a pandemic area, that is tuberculosis infested area, this one. You and I are not suffering from tuberculosis. But people who fear they are suffering from tuberculosis and they are dying of it also. So the peace is with you. Don't let the peace be shattered. That's because of the prevailing situations against you. It is your peace that will nullify everything.
On the same line, I want to take one path, but I'm being forced not to allow that path, and somebody is forcing me.
You want your peace, why you let somebody else to deviate? That's the reason why in the beginning I said there's no our peace, my peace. To each and everyone is the individual peace. And that individual peace differs from person to person, depending upon their ability to withstand the pressure on them. The more they want peace, the better they will withstand. So opt for more and more peace. My optimal ability to withstand is different. Your optimal level is different. Each one's threshold is different. So I will say, I mind my own business. I won't interfere with another business. Let him smoke, let him do anything they want. Let him do whatever they want. It will not bother me. That should be your way. That should be your attitude. Because he is disturbing me, I am disturbed. Both of you are the same wavelength or different wavelengths. If there is a difference in wavelength, use your difference. Why do you want to be on par suddenly when you think I am different from that person? Definitely, when I am saying I am different to that person, in elevation level only I will talk. I will not say I am lower than him. Definitely, no one will say one is lower than the other. Their pride will not allow them to say those things. If that is the case, you are a different person to that of another person who is doing some nonsense. You are on an elevated platform. Why do you stand at that platform? Why do you come down and start fighting with the people? No, down.
Or get a chance, walk away from that situation.
Why do you walk away? Why do you believe in your form? Make your mind to elevate from one level to another level and stay in peace at all times.
So if the smoke is causing some inconvenience, should we adapt to it or?
You are sitting inconveniently, but there's no way but to adapt. Adapt to it. Adoption will take place. Man has got the greatest adaptability. He is a warm-blooded animal. They join us in the animal, warm-blooded animal. They suit to any situation. But man suits even to greater levels of ups and downs. He can suit himself if only he prepares his mind to accept your peace instead of accepting their disturbance. More than accepting your peace, you are troubled by the acceptance of other disturbance. That acceptance must go. Adapt yourself to yourself, to your own self. Peace. Get to a higher level. You are thinking now. Once you understand, you will begin to talk. Until such time, no language. So I am trying to understand. I am observing things moving here and there. No languages come. Only after finding out some spark there, now I am beginning to collect, recollect, and try to produce newer nomenclature to express my use. So each Jack will have his own nomenclature. Scientific dictionary is different, medical dictionary is different, legal dictionary is different, slang dictionary is different. Unless you create a new word, you cannot talk. Vocabulary is necessary. Now the vocabulary is increasing because you want to communicate your thought in different fields and disciplines. You want more and more communicable vocabulary in different fields. So I am adapting vocabularies from other languages. I am inventing a new language also. So the thinking proceeds and the language follows. Not that the language proceeds, the thinking follows. What are they? Language is important or thinking is important? If I am angry with you and I am having verbal diarrhea, something will fall out without my knowledge that will affect you deeply. Then I will say I didn't intend to use those language in the flow it is come. No language and mind is super fast. Language is a dummy toy. Mind is live. Language only grazes the earth, but mind goes by leaps and bounds. Higher, no grazing the ground. Mind is above the ground. Knowledge is like the level with the ground. Keep thinking, huh? So we will understand. Chapter 2, 213.
Mankind was once a single community.
Right. What is it? What do you mean by that? Mankind is one. How? You look different, you look different, everyone looks differently. Then what do you mean by mankind is one? Humans are a single one. In what way? We must understand. We are all not different, we are one. We want peace. You want moderate peace, absolute peace. But people will be asking, some peace if I get it is working. Because they think peace is something of a material that could be purchased for a price. It's not so. Peace is unwholesome or you leave the peace altogether. You want peace means some peace, you'll get only the pieces, not peace. So in this angle, we are one nation. And which one that in a person that wants the peace, it is his brain, it is his mind, or it is his soul. So then we must know what is brain, mind, and soul. You got any nomenclature to now enumerate on these three words? Or you have to think, only after coming to a proper understanding, you'll be able to build up a sentence now to clarify to the people. Which precedes now language or thought process? Now I am asking you what is mind. Thought process is going on. Still language does not come to your aid. only after getting a proper understanding, now you are able to pick up the words and then to make it into a sentence to make the best from your clarifications, from your ability to communicate. So the language falls behind the mind process, thinking process. So now you know that thinking is not by the mother tongue. Mind grips you, tongues let you loose. Grips you, grasps you to a particular situation point, tongue lets you loose. So that part is clear.
Yeah.
So how when we enter into Veda, things are made clear. Though it is not subjectively speaking in a particular direction, it is all encompassing. A Veda is all encompassing. Now mankind is one. How? A thinking process. Without thinking, there's no question of understanding the one word of God, because it is not a language of dictionaries. It is a language of mind. That is no language, but the language is given only to push you into the thinking process. So simply we are saying Manadakulam one, but how mankind is one? By brain he is one, or by mind he is one, or by soul he is one. So what is brain? What is mind? What is soul? What is brain? Any visual audibility could be perceived, registered in the brain, but the truth is registered here in the mind. I am seeing you are a man, but here the register is you are not a man. I am seeing you are smiling, but what registers is true smile or not. The perception is here, registering is here, form and shape. Whatever is possible for you to uh, assess through your five special senses, that is brain work. Eyes, ear, nose, touch, and taste. With all these things, whatever you perceive is knowledge. Knowledge is there in the brain. The inner aspect of it is registered here. We give rare importance to that, but we give most importance to what is being registered here, what is being perceived here, then what is imprinted here. Imprint cannot be changed. What I perceive is subject to changes. We go by the imprints without giving a thought to the mind. That's the problem. We are a people divided. You go by what you see, and a little bit of perception is here that adds to the imprint, giving as if it was some life in it. Your ability to understand is based on how much you value the imprint, how much you value the perception, how much you want to change the imprint that you have about your particular thing. I cannot see you as a thing, but I must see you as a man. You also have the mind within you registers something that may be given life, that it comes to life. To understand what exactly is imprinted, whether it is to be discarded from the brain or it has to be further strengthened and affirmed, this is the thing, and it cannot be corrected anymore. That becomes a spoiled one. I don't consider any person who is spoiled as no more a human being. At least that particular time he is not a human being. Maybe he may be subjected to changes, provided he shows his willingness. That means he wants to come down from his pride to the level of showing humility towards others. So We are now on par with each other without that pride. If you are humble before each other, then we are one human being. Nobody will like the pride. Nobody will like when one is boastful. Nobody will be tolerating self-exaltation. I am exalting because I feel I am exalted about others. Nobody will like. So I have to live by the natural understanding of the human soul. Unless I understand your soul, there is no equity or equality I will maintain in my actual experience, in my actual practice. If only I know the soul and I have the soul, the same soul is with everyone. That is the truth, ultimate absolute truth. We have that soul in us. In that we are one. You want peace, you want peace, you want peace. The soul dictates the mind now, and the mind perceives from the soul, I want peace. I want cure from my ailments. I want an expansive life. I don't want to be held up in a straitened, restricted life. In this also, I must be given in ampleness without any shortage to whatever I need. Everything that your soul dictates to you is in surplus and surpassing above your wildest imagination, in relieving yourself of all the constraint and restrictions, and to place you in abundance and in total acceptance of everything that He gives you without any restrictions. Whether my mind accepts it or not, definitely it doesn't accept in totality. But little bit peace is sufficient, is what your mind says. The brain is also started dictating from the imprint because you give more importance to your knowledge, you weigh your pride based on the knowledge you have got as an imprint in your brain. The more I have knowledge, the more I am proud. I can only act according to what it dictates. I am only having pride because my understanding of the things available is so strong I am able to put it into activity. It all depends upon how much I remember the imprints. If you got greater memory, you are a worldly level man, the best man. If you got less memory, then using that knowledge, you cannot compete with another person who has got better memory. But if your mind is in a working capacity, you become an inventor. You develop your own nomenclatures, vocabulary, to describe it to others so that they can understand the new invention. A new language I am now inculcating into the already available dictionary material. So you become an inventor when you use your mind because your soul power is more, your grasping power is more from the soul than your slavery to your brain. Whatever got memorized in your brain, your slavery if it rules over you. You are a slave to your mind, then at the one level you are the best. If I am slave to my soul, I am inventor. There's no competitor in me. There's no competition in me. There's no competition for me. I am on top of the world, sitting pretty, with ampleness and abundant provisions from whatever I have gotten from the invention. So you become an inventive man. Now, you are not a man who will be a slave unto others, who will work prettily for so many people, only to earn money, nothing more than money. If you have knowledge, You have the competitive power to outstrip anyone who has the same knowledge, the readable knowledge, and you can gain some money about them. To nothing else, it will be useful, your knowledge, if you are a slave to your brain, knowledge. If you are slave to your mind, your soul, then there is no competition for you. You are a unique creation. You are a unique individual. You develop your own life by inventing something to the people for their daily purposeful usage. This is how I am inventing the world. If I am putting these words in a formation of a sentence, it is because my thinking has resulted in some perfectness. I am able to communicate with the words gathered here and there. Otherwise, in the normal ways of communication, you will not find such words. A rare word picking up here and there. It is not possible unless you pick up the rare words here and there and trying to communicate. Because we don't want to get caught in the catchy words. I will say one thing, you will think another thing. Finally, nothing is helpful or beneficial to anyone. You will make your point very clear. Thinking process has no language. Yes. Now we'll come to 2 and 3 again. We are all one nation.
So, being a slave to the soul, that is wrong.
Soul, sir. 2 years close to the soul.
Yeah. So then I am not the soul, I have a soul. I am different from the soul.
In you, the mind, brain, and soul has been incorporated. The soul speaks the truth.
I'm a combination.
Yes. A combination of all these things, but each thing is distinctly separate. Mind, soul, and your brain are confluencing. Soul finally should discard mind and brain, but normally the brain discards mind and soul. He becomes an animal, social animal. Not only social animal, in the long run he will end up as social plant also.
This mind is choosing between brain and soul. Mind is not separate.
Mind, soul, brain, are all the three are an embodiment in your heart now. Which one you will choose is the best one?
The chooser is the mind.
Yes, the choice is in the mind. Everything should be distinctly active in its own perspective.
There is only two things. One is the brain and then the soul. Whom the mind responds to.
Unless I include mind also now, suddenly I bring mind after this has been cleared, you will know where the mind is now. So the three things are there in place is what we understand now. Then what is different? What is different? And which one is the central point? Fulcrum is different. First, I must understand the three things are there. What are the three things? The functioning of the three things: the mind, brain, and soul. The mind receives only the external features. That is, whatever is manifesting to the eyes and the special senses, it gets imprinted in the brain. Now the mind also receives it. The knowledge, mind also receives it. When I am starting to use it from the mind, I am using it. Because mindlessly I cannot do anything. When I have read something and when I am putting it to practice, the fear comes because my mind says if I will be able to do whatever I have learned, if I will be able to put it into practice or not. This is what my mind will be telling me. Because it receives from the soul what you have gained is a wrong thing. It is not going to work for you for the entire future. So don't consider that today it is going to work you unless my help comes through. You fear me, I will help you towards accomplishing certain things you have gathered as knowledge. So the soul, everything is coming together now. Soul and brain comes to the mind, and the mind is the deciding factor when it is going through the process of learning. When I start doing some business, I have understood from certain people they are making some money out of business, and I am also wanting to do a business. When they start the business, I have some fear.
The soul
That
guides
fear,
the mind.
yes, that fear is the soul guides the mind. Don't take it for granted that your knowledge is going to work. Have some humility because of your fearful. This will carry you far. So I am in the learning process and understanding my soul is most important than the brain work. My allegiance to soul is important than the brain work. My slave being a slave to the brain. So your knowledge is a dummy, your knowledge is a graveyard, and it will be taking you only to afflictions and greater afflictions unless you learn through your ways of so the way that you are living through using your mind, how much it is humble before the people, how much obedient you are to the truth, and how much you are satisfying your customers unless you speak the truth. You can satisfy only for the time being. If you want the customer long lasting, you should ever speak the truth. So all these things are given by the soul. So I am soulfully attracted to the earth to start with. But the soul wants you to elevate from the earth, the latter part of it.
Sometimes we use the word conscience. Are you referring to the soul or is it?
Conscience. Soul is conscience. And brain is consciousness. And here the mind always have a collection of the two. And it did not become one homogeneous entity here. It is stand separate. Your knowledge and the soul, what it teaches you, how to behave. The quality of the mind is coming from the soul, conscience. The quality must be too good so that the brain, understanding, knowledge, everything will stand separate without getting mixed up and become a homogeneous mixture. Then we will not be able to separate the two. So in the mind, everything must be clear. My mind is now not having any sides with the two. Unless I understand first, I cannot side with any of the two. Thinking process must go before I side with any of these things. Only the thinking process takes you to a clarity, revelation comes. A revelation comes to me, a clarity comes to me. Until such time, my mind must be neutral. You may be a big person, I may revere you. All that you say, I cannot take. You can take it only for that particular momentary gain. If it has to cater to you for all time to come in your entire life, unless you give a thought to it and you perceive it on your own, that means unless you make it become your own natural self, it is impossible for you to carry on for life. The thinking only makes you makes the understanding of the truth to become one with your nature. Unless it becomes your nature, you cannot stick to the truth. So you give a thought to it and perceive it, understand from your own level of understanding. Only this makes you a real person to abide by the truth, whatever you have heard from others. Because it has become your natural now. You gave a thought to it, and then later on you decided from your own which is right and wrong. And chances are so bright if that you have taken whatever I have given you as a righteous thing, definitely you have placed in my shoes.
Again, when you say your nature, you are referring to soul.
Yeah?
Soul.
Yeah. Soul is same, mind wise are different. God is one.
sometimes
Soul says,
in day-to-day transaction, we say its nature is different, my nature is different. We cannot mention that nature.
nature is
True nature. Not-
hello. ஹலோ யாருங்க நாளைக்கு பேசுங்கம்மா. The nature means the culmination of the two, mixture of the two makes one nature.
Mind and soul.
From the soul level, I am receiving all the beautiful things. The supreme degree of all beautiful things I am receiving. And from the brain level, I am receiving all the evil of the knowledge. Between the two, I am having in different proportions, the evil and good. A mixture of it is what is there in my mind. Do you get me, Surya? The mixture of the two. On the one thing, the heavenly qualities. On the other side, from the brain, what I am receiving is all the evil of hell. Here is the mixture of the two. The evil of hell is what I am finding it a blissful life here. The hellish life is a blissful life here. Because instantly I am gaining something. Later on, if something comes, let us see. When I am disturbed by the afflictions of my own evil. Now I am enjoying. So whatever you enjoy today is only through the physical means. That means you are going to suffer. If you have control, because the soul also says it is wrong, if you restrain yourself and control yourself, then your affliction is not much, even though you have tasted the evils of the earth, the earthy level of life. So the five special senses without the mindfulness, mind must be full of understanding of whatever it receives from the soul. So that's a sound mind. That will restrict you from falling a prey to the physical desires and pleasures. Physical desires are eyes, nose, ear, the skin and the tongue. So restrict it. Don't fall a prey to it. Because it's all momentary. Whatever you see, the physical appreciation and tasting of these things, only very, very limited purpose and for a limited period of time. But what you want is never-ending, everlasting, beautiful mind and soul together, not evil mind and brain together. Finally, I have to avoid the soul. I want to be totally all right. I don't want to suffer any disease. It is there in the heart, in the mind. That has come from the soul. But what you say is, even when you are suffering from a disease or any distress, you don't mind it in the first, when the beginning of the trouble starts. You think it will go. But who makes you understand there's a trouble starting? And you know that you have not started it, you have not bought it, but something else is brewing up inside, started showing its first stage of growth inside of you. Do you make it or it develops on its own? Any disease in you, when it starts sprouting as a small thing, is it you who is growing it because something you don't like, the evil you don't like to happen to you? The bad omen shall not befall you. This is what you like. When such is the case, there are certain things in and outside of me started developing against my interest, against my luxury and peace. Is it you who is starting it? Without your knowledge, it is sprouting up around you. Because definitely, I would like to nip it in the bud. I am not able to do that. So I am not starting it. It is starting, all around me and inside of me, giving you a warning that you cannot touch it, even if it's the growing, the sprouting bud level? Are you going to remove it after it has totally consumed you? So now the soul speaking to you. But it is small one, you are unmindful of it. You neglect it, you ignore it. Because you think small thing, nothing will happen, it will go. But as it is growing, now the fear comes to you because the soul says, now it is time you give your mind to it. You be mindful of it now, it must go, at least at this stage. Now who has the capacity to remove it? No one else. If you cannot remove, then who else can? The one who speaks to you from the soul to the mind, he alone can. So in this way, we want a superior force for us or not. One superior force or multiple superior force. When it is given to you, you must be totally alright from your problem. That absoluteness has come to you. Now it is the one single absolute superior most power. If something tells you, let a little part of it go, then that's a different part. When some other soul in some other soul from it only 90% it will be good, then that's a different God. In some other soul it says 80% will be good, definitely 90% God is much better than the 80% God. But in no one's heart, when the disease comes, is there a word except that it must be 100% alright. Or 80% let it be alright, 10% let it be alright. This is what the soul says to you, or absolutely 100% you must be alright. So there is one God, one force speaking to all are different gods with different ability and capacity lying in the soul speaking to your mind. If you go with the soul, there is only one God or multiple gods. If there is one God, we are one single nation if you abide with the soul or not. So you were like that when you were created. You are fully you attached yourself, your mind to your soul. So you are one nation. When the knowledge you started to imbibe, you swelled up in pride. Now there is a mixture, and your nature has changed. You fell into different groups, and then you vie with one another because to maintain the superiority, it is still there. By killing one, by looting one, by destroying one, I can maintain my superiority within my limited surroundings. But you have been created as an individual. Hello? Good morning, tell me. Yeah, I saw your message also after the flow. Okay. 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 You don't have to go. Let things improve by yourself. Okay. So let them come and visit me. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, sure. This is a person who is a IAS officer, Murli in Hyderabad. His cousin brother was comatose. He talked to me yesterday that they want to come here, but they cannot come because the person is too dangerous. So I will send the photo of him lying in the bed with everything. So you can pray for me. I said, no need for any photo. Your heart is important. What do you want about your cousin? I want him to be all right. So how many percentage you want to be? You want him to become okay? He said a little bit. If he comes around and if he is able to survive, it is better. Definitely, it's not a prayer. What your mind talks to you, tell me. Whether you want him 100% all right, or with your knowledge, only this much is possible and nothing more is possible, then you are devaluing God to your level, bringing him down to your level. And whatever you can, God can. So I can think that a little bit if he improves is okay. So God can only do that. It is possible only for him. It's only possible to that level because my ability is that level. You are bringing God down to your level and you are raising yourself to God's level. Definitely, it's not a prayer. Tell me what you want. He was not able to understand. Then tell me whether you want your cousin to be totally cured or not. Yes, sir, totally cured. Then why did you say a little bit? So with my knowledge, only I can say that only I can. Maybe I am thinking that I am very greedy. Surviving is greediness. You what for you have gone there? For a cure or only to make him crawl after the coma? Or lying on the bed, staring eyes, just breathing. What do you want? You want him to become a normal person again and even a better person, or you want to become totally 100% all right? He said, I want him to become totally 100% all right. I am asking you, you want him to be a better person, or you want to be the same person before he gotten into this coma? No, I want him to be a better person so that he will not fall into coma again. When I wanted to choose between the two he chose, I want him to be a better person. Then I asked him, you want him to be created as new creation or you want him to be repaired and put back to normal? No, sir, I want him to be new creation. Done. Everything is over. Believe in that. Where are you now? I am in Arunachalam, something you said. What is Arunachalam? Who is Arunachalam? Asked my God. Who is speaking to you now? You want a new creation. Who can create? God can create. Arunachalam is speaking to you, or in your breathing, that field is now, it is given inspiration to you. You are not inside the Arunachalam temple, right? You are outside. Yes, I am outside. So now who is speaking to you? Arunachalam is inside the gate. Who is speaking to you now outside on the streets? No, I am feeling it. Who gives you that feeling in your every breath? He must be all right. He must be all right. Who speaks to you? So I am speaking to myself. But you are so much doubtful and you look very saddened when you are saying that your cousin brother is in the hospital suffering. You have lost all hopes. You said if a little bit comes out and crawls on the streets, sufficient. That's what you said. Now only you are saying that he must be 100% all right. Not only that, he must be created as a new creation now. Who is speaking to you now? Definitely, you are not speaking. Your thought is he will not be all right. Now, God says you should be all right. Is it God that is speaking to you, or you are speaking to yourself that he must be all right? God speaks to you, or you speak. You speak, he will not be all right. He will not be all right. You expect him to die tomorrow or day after tomorrow. And the doctors have lost hope. All knowledge has come to standstill. Now you are hoping for some new force to act on him. It's not a devil's force acting upon him, it is God's force acting upon him. Now, if you take God's message in your soul, then he will be all right. Because you are the nearest attendant to him. So you feel inside of you as he must become 100% all right, and moreover, he should be created as a new creation so that his health is even more stronger and livelier to carry him forward till the prescribed time of his heart. Yes, sir, I am listening to you. It is the inspiration I am getting. I am the feel. And the feel is from God. Now, Arunachalam is speaking or God is speaking? No, sir, God is speaking. Where is God now? Inside the Arunachalam temple or in the streets? No, sir, on the street. He is speaking to you or speaking elsewhere? To someone else? No, speaking to me. But you feel it inside your chest or not? Yes. Now, where God is? Inside my chest, sir. He's an IAS officer, only. Inside my chest, sir. Yes, I understand now. So, where is God now? With me in the chest, giving me all the glad tidings and warnings. If I step out of Him, I am doomed. I only hope for gloom. If I stay inside, that's a gloom and boom for me. Which one you want? I stay inside. Now you have with you that if you what you are saying is true, what you have in your mind is peace or the same jitteriness that you had when you called. So the peace is coming back to you. That means God's word is taking shape in you. How to convey it to the boy, he asked. You don't have to convey. The breathing, the fresh breathing is from God. You are created first as a new soul. You are not the old soul now. Old person. You are a new Murli now. You are being created all anew now. And your mere whispering is sufficient. Sitting by Him, you will be all right. But think of God. Don't think of Arunachala. Think of God. That Arunachalam you created. Yes or no? I hope I am not offending you, I asked him. Arunachalam, all the other gods, it is your own imagination or not? Yes, our own imagination only. Then you created those gods, right? Yes. Being yourself a creator of gods, you are the God of gods. So you will have no God. This is the place where where you are stuck now. So unless you discard all these gods and you reduce us to a human being, God now has inspired you with His blessing and with His new wisdom. And your worry and sadness is removed, and He has given His word of creation. Let Him be all right. Yes, sir, I am understood. I now have full peace in me. And with that, you seek from God, increase me in this faith, increase me in this wisdom, and let me not fall out of my heart and go elsewhere, thinking that God is not within me but outside of me. Until this time, I had been in the path of error. Now you have shown me the path, I will not fall back again into my error. I leave it to you. I put my whole trust on you, and you are my trustee, the best of all trustees. So, talk to your God by way of feel as much as you can. Strengthen yourself by submitting and supplicating yourself to Him. And thereafter, God is sufficient as He listens and He is truthful. He gave you the word, you accepted, and you go back to Him again for your submission and supplication in truth that you want to be an abiding person to the wish of God. You want to be elevated in your wisdom, and you will not fall back to your old ways of the path of error. And you safeguard me, you strengthen me, and make my foot strong in your path. I will not be swaying now except to stand firm. And give me patience. Let me not advance before you and start thinking evil. Hold me in your embrace and never allow me. As he is listening to all this, said, Sir, I have got a new life now. All the while I have been following the priesthood, and hereafter I will not follow my ancestors. If he gets better, definitely God has spoken the truth. I will follow him. Today is fine.
As you say, when people have problems, right? When people have problems, I understand like the very last resort, not people come to faith healing knowledge. Eventually they try with allopathy, everything. And you talk about faith healing, right? It's a wonderful concept. But again, faith is something that is developed over the years. it is something structured in the unconsciousness, maybe given the parent role that you have been conditioned to think that something is true. And when people are in a kind of very desperate state, somehow they want things to change. They call people like they call you. And when you tell them that, see, start like you give up all that you've been following and believe in something now, which they have been new to that. How do you expect them to give up or discard all that they have been following over the years and then accept things overnight?
But he has given up. It's not for everyone. Whom God wants to help, He helps. God willing, He will be on it. So His willing is most important. And He knows whom to give another lease of life or not. He knows if we give him, if He gives the relief to him, He will be grateful to Him. He will be showing thanks to Him. And again, Allah knows who will go against and become ungrateful to Him. For those, they will disobey me. For those who still has in mind certain amount of gratefulness, show of thanks to someone when he delivers something good to him, when that is there, definitely God makes him understand.
Some people spiritual intelligence. I think not everybody has that.
Spiritual intelligence.
Or that kind of understanding. Probably people coming here asking all these questions, they're driven by some.
I don't understand what is spiritual and what is intelligence and what is spiritual intelligence.
No, the desire to know all this.
First of all, what is spirit means ghost. God and spirit, two different things. You want God or you want spirit? You know the spirit, imaginary one. You don't understand, but we know God. Yeah, God is some superior force, cannot be seen. Spirit in the form of ghost also you can see. Normally it is used for bad connotation. Spirit. Yes or no? Yes or no? When you say God, always good. When you say spirit, bad is also good. So I don't understand when it is a confused word spirit, what is spiritual intelligence?
Interest in
He is,
certain things.
he is far away from truth. If he has got spiritual intelligence, he is far away from truth. He will not be like a normal person. He will be like a Samya or Sannyasi. He is more jungle oriented. No, there is no question of spiritual intelligence. Spiritual intelligence is gone mad.
In fact, when he says it is Allah Almighty who chooses, so we have no capacity to judge anybody that somebody has spiritual intelligence or not.
No, when he says, Hadi says that somebody is very desperate, he must know he is very desperate. What more he is taking from their thin knowledge? Already he has used everything and become desperate. You should leave it totally. If you are still sticking on to that,
This question here, can we change the faith in one?
you cannot change.
Yeah.
You can only hope. You have to deliver the good news to him. Whether he has that changing attitude in him or not, God knows. But I do not know. So whatever with me is to deliver. That's all.
Also, it has happened that somebody is in total desperation, and they have got a no from all other means. And that is the time, even if you give the good news, even then he rejects. So you are desperately wanting to give good news. But in that situation also, he is destined not to receive. So we are helpless against changing others.
And again, the mind is in a kind of fluctuation state. Sometimes like might fall back. All that is there.
Mind is fluctuating means, fluctuation means what? Not steady in one ground. You must be cured of your disease, you will not be cured of your disease. Which one you want? If you look both ways, you are confused. When something good comes to you, you Adhere to that. Embrace it. Read 39:18. Inside you, good words are spoken. Outside of you, people speak all nonsense about a single problem of a person. But you listen to both the good word and the nonsense, total nonsense. The people speak from their intelligence and knowledge. 39:18. So you choose the best of it. Where is the question of fluctuation here? You know which is good and bad. And again you will know which is best and worse. What's the difficulty for you to side with the good and the best? Where is the question of fluctuation? You want safety or death? Where is the question of fluctuation? He believes in the death more, but wants safety.
Right now, the spectacles are not very. In the same situation comes. We are conditioned to think that this or this is okay for teaching, health without medicine. But specs are it's limit. We have to believe that also. Like, try that. You will get back your absolute perfection.
He was wearing specs and doing surgery. Doctor. So when he came in 1998, the first thing when I said remove the glass, that is the day he removed the glass. Then for a month or so, he said some difficulty is there performing surgery. And after 6 months, I never heard of him complaining about his eyes at all. His total life has changed. And he was wearing the glass, he was wearing the glass, everybody is wearing the glass. And all the time in the computers.
So
It will further spoil them.
Doctor, you were talking about the IAS officer incident.
Huh?
The IAS officer incident you
Yeah.
were talking about this related nostril. So, was the problem of ignorance? Previously, he was ignorant. He had a conversation with you, and he got connected to his soul. The
Yes.
ignorance went. and-
He is not a proud person. That he is an IAS officer, he knows everything. So he is ignorant. That means he is neutral. It's a clean state. Now anything can be put in there, the right ones. So the ignorant people are much to be worshipped than the arrogant people.
So, all our problems due to our ignorance. everyone. Most of our problems. We are not even aware.
Not at all his problem.
Our problem, my problem.
The person who is lying down on the bed, it's his problem. His problem is working.
But you think he is getting healed because you got
Yeah,
that knowledge.
yeah. Because to me, my belief must work for me.
Yeah.
So for Murali, his belief should work to strengthen him. If he revives and he is revived, it is strengthening his belief, not for him. He may again slip back to coma. That's different. If he doesn't believe, if he is not grateful to the effect that he felt out of Murali's belief. So it is not a foolproof word for the person who got left from the coma state. It is only a test file. But this one is done only to strengthen the faith of the person who inquired for him.
How much of a God I am, because of somebody else's prayer, I can get healed.
You are not altered. Only for the person's sake you have been kept alive. And a short period of respite is given to you. You start believing him, seeking forgiveness. If you don't, you will go back again, even worse stage. And live longer there until your hour of death arrives.
It's an opportunity for
Huh?
it is an opportunity for him to follow.
Again,
or
it's an
follow
opportunity for him. This revival is a telltale sign that God's power is greater than anyone else. Hereafter, don't equate the people to God. Don't associate partners to God. God do not need any associations, no partners. Doctor should find some medicine, and then he must give the medicine to the patient, and thus if they help them, God also can. Without medicine, God cannot. This is how the people will know. We give medicine, God cures. Then why in most cases God doesn't cure? Now the people will be saying, the doctor will be saying it's doctor, it is medical miracle. No, it's God's miracle. We have to correct it.
And this also answers many issues like the healing practice people do. Like, for example, if people, we understand that when they come,
They are doing satanic practices, witchcraft. Don't say healing practice.
you know, I remember earlier with acupuncture, the people will start believing in the touch of that person. Of course, that person is knowing that he's praying and healing, but the other person will got healed. It is a matter of time he will get back to track unless he learns to pray accordingly.
Unless he learns to pray, no, unless he learns to ponder, think, and arrive on his own that such and such is right, reciting from his own past. The incidences happened in his life in the past. So keep reciting. Bring the citations from your occasions in the past and try to understand from your own self that definitely it is God's work. Unless he concludes all by himself, there is no way that you will be getting the righteous path. You may accept it unless you recite and then come to a conclusion from your own self, it's not yourself. You will again slip back to your original self. So I am clear on that point. Yes. So you are a single nation. Those who have fallen apart now, they are more towards the physical life. They are not willing to abide by the abstract future life ahead of them, about which they know nothing. So each day when it is born, it's a perfection for them. Confused. They are not able to apply their mind to the existing situation. It is developed. Every new day is a developing day for them to test their strength of knowledge, whether they will stand the test of time, whether their knowledge will stand the test of time. It will not. So you are always one nation by soul, but you are different people by mind. Because the mind is corrupted by the knowledge. The knowledge is nothing but what the five special senses have gathered. As occurrences, the occurrences are not knowledge, are not life. The occurrences are only to feed you what you wanted, what is happening. All the instances are that's happening, evil or good. It is beyond your ability to get it, gain it. When you get the evil part of it, it is beyond your ability to bear with it. When you gain a better one, it is not within your ability by which you got it. So all these occurrences are happening out of bounds of your knowledge, outside of your knowledge. You cannot do a single thing, however minute you can think about, the way you want it. You will be doing. Things will be either wrong or right. Things will be profiting to you or less. In that profit, there will be less or more. Things will be a loss for you, less or even severe loss. Gain more or even much better gain. Nothing happens according to your fixation. Going to sleep, you're not going to sleep at 9 o'clock. You will sleep at 10 o'clock. You will go to bed at 9 o'clock. Getting up is not in your hands. You will not be fresh while getting up, or you will be fresh. You will be refreshed, or you will be even more getting into worse slumber. It is not in your hands. What do you think you can do in your today's this world's life using your knowledge, except hoping for a better life? Then strengthening your belief in that for even better life, and thereafter be faithful to Him for whatever good you have gained, instead of being boastful. The more humility I show, the better my life will be tomorrow. It is based on that, the fact that God gives you more belief and gives you the comprehension and perception in a better way so that you will elevate it to a higher platform from where the belief is so simple and possible for you. Without raising myself to a higher platform, belief is so far away. It may be a far-fetched ideas for me. Either you go for far-reaching benefits or you get lost with far-fetched ideas. So can you join hands with the people who are brainy and fell aloof from one nation and think of his ability and waxing proud on his ability, he thinks he is superior to others, which will be hated by anyone. And such people have fallen into different groups and they have amassed their people around them, making a cult or culture, a commune or community. They fall into different sections. Cult is small one, cult is a big one. Commune is a small one, commune is a big one. Nation is a small one, world is one. So you belong to the world, you don't belong to the nation. World means not only the earth, heavens and the earth put together is world. You belong to the world. You belong to the skies and heavens, the skies and the earth. You don't belong to your nation. Don't fall a prey to the politicians of various lands. You are only a slave to the politicians. Say I am belong to the earth and the sky. Don't say I belong to this particular part of the earth. என்னம்மா சொல்லுங்கம்மா. தண்ணி தான் எடுத்துதா தண்ணி எல்லாம் குடிச்சிட்டு வரட்டும், சரியா போயிடும், நாளைக்கு பார்ப்போம். இது பார்ப்போம். நல்ல ஹாகி சொல்லுங்க.
எப்பவுமே இதே முறையே இருக்கணும்னு சொல்றீங்க இல்லையா?
எப்போதுமே
இதே முறையே இருக்கணும்னு சொல்றீங்க இல்லையா? அது எந்த
இல்ல,
அளவுக்கு
நான் சொல்றது இருக்கட்டும். நான் சொல்றது இருக்கட்டும். நீங்க சுகமா வாழணுமா வாழ வேண்டாமா? இது எப்போது மறந்துட்டு வாழ முடியுமா? நான் சொல்ல நீங்க சொல்லுங்க. இது யாருக்கு செய்யும்? எப்போதுமே சுகமா வாழ வைக்கிறதுக்கு யாரால முடியும்? அப்ப அது உணர்வா கொடுக்கப்பட்டு கேட்டீங்க. இப்ப இறைவனோட வாழணுமா இல்லையா? இது எப்படி மறந்துட்டு வாழ முடியும்?
சாதாரணமா இருக்கும்போது ஓகே. ஏன்னா நான்
சாதாரணமா இருக்கும் பொழுது நன்றியோட இருக்கணுமா இல்லையா இறைவனுக்கு?
கண்டிப்பா
அப்ப இது கொடுத்ததுக்கு அவனுக்கு நன்றி சொல்லிட்டு இருக்குமா இல்லையா? அவனை மறக்காம இருக்குமா இல்லையா? அதுவும் இறைவனோட தானே. இதை மறந்துட்டு இருந்தா நன்றி கேட்டவங்க அர்த்தம் வரும். So the question is how to be in constant remembrance of Allah. Right? How to be in constant remembrance of Allah. You say, that's how we started. You say that we have to be in constant remembrance of Allah. I stopped it. You want to have a good health all your life from this moment or not? Yes. Who has spoken to you these words? Is it in your hands? Then who has spoken to you these words? Maintain your health, good health all the time to come. Who has spoken these words to him? Huh? God. God has spoken this word to the soul, and the soul is delivered to the mind. The soul receives the message of God and delivers. That's all. So, this no two ways about good tidings. You have a beautiful health for all time to come. Who has delivered this? Who has delivered this? I have a fear in my heart. Are you listening? Okay. I am having in my heart that I must live a beautiful life, unadulterated life, unrestricted life, with full of blossom and ampleness. No shortage of health, no shortage of money, no shortage of anything that is necessary for me in this world, for my beautiful survival. You will have all this for your entire life to come. If I have that fear in me, who speaks to me? The soul receives and delivers. From where the soul has received this? Whose message? Huh? God's message. Is that message in your heart is as a feel or not? Or is a thing you are imagining? So this remembrance is important for us from this moment all the time or not? Is it important to have this feel all the time with me all through my life? Is it important or not? Or only when I am suffering, I must receive the another message to get rid of the suffering. And now I take that. Until such time I am relieved of my sufferings, I take God's word and I am in constant remembrance of that until I become all right. When I am all right, God says, never suffer anything of like this that you are seeing all around you. None like your suffering that you are seeing around should afflict you any time in your life. This is also again a field. Can I afford to ignore it, neglect it, or turn my back to it? Or I must be in constant remembrance of it. So when I have to be in constant remembrance of this, It is your soul demands that way to the mind and mind accepts it or not. So now what is your answer? Whether you have to be in constant remembrance, first thing for your own good, secondly, as only a show of gratitude to your God for having given this blessing. So I am not saying, you are saying that. It is not somebody is speaking to you that because of that I am remembering certain things. It will have no good at all for you unless you take it and think and thereafter act accordingly. It is impossible for you to gain anything just because I am telling you and you are taking it. It must become your nature after accepting it. After accepting some truth from you, because of my pondering, my assimilation of whatever I gotten, removing the evil and absorbing the best one. It becomes my nature, and I now prayerfully abide by it and soulfully wanting it. Definitely, this will help you all through your life without any opposition. Hello. சொல்லுங்கம்மா. சரிம்மா, நல்லபடியாக கொடுங்க சாப்பிடு. நல்லபடியாக சாப்பிடணும். இப்போ நான் வேற வேலை இருக்கிறேன்னா ரொம்ப அவசியமாக தான் பேசுங்க, சாப்பிட சொல்லுங்க. நேரில் வரட்டுமே, நேரில் வரட்டுமே, வந்து பார்த்துட்டு அப்புறமா சேலம் தான் இருக்கிறீங்க. ஏன் நேரில் வந்து பார்த்துக்கலாமே சேலம் வரும்பொழுது? அது அப்புறம் பேசுவோம். அதெல்லாம் இப்போ கொஞ்சம் வேற வேலையாக இருக்குங்க. உங்களுக்கு நீங்கள் நல்லபடியாக இருக்குங்க, வந்து அப்புறம் பார்க்கணும்.
When you say soulfully accepting, not wanting it, but soulfully accepting it, that is
Mindfully accepting from the soul.
It is coming. I no longer want it because I am sure it is coming. Like even when you were talking, embracing that as truth, I could easily see is coming inside. The anxiety-filled mind slowly gave way to like you can easily
relaxation.
Relax. This relaxation has got some kind of gladness. Oh, it is coming. So it's no longer wanting it.
Thereafter, you have to be abiding by it, giving more thought and strengthening it by way of instances happening all around you. And every good and evil happens around you. It must be a deliverance of firmness to your belief, what you have received from your soul in the mind.
In that firmness, there is no stress. In that firmness, there is more and more relaxation.
More and more
Please.
Creation of life force. Don't say energy. Creation of new life force. That life force hasn't been created before. This and for her a new life force, for each one, everyone a new life force. It's not energy.
This also is good. The moment the thought of spectacle has been removed, more and more relaxation means less and less muscle. You can easily feel it is coming.
Why do you go to muscle and all? I am relaxed.
I mean, using the word, relaxation is.
Why do you go there? I am fully relaxed. I am feeling beautiful. Come down to that particular feel. Don't use language. The more you use language, the essence of the bliss is gone. So the rest, 2, 2, and 3. See, one single verse we are not able to complete, even the one sentence of it. This is Quran.
We just started.
So we are all a single soul and we want to be a nation in the world. And we will have no party with the people who have separated themselves as away from the soul level to the mind level and thereafter to the brain level. We will not have any relations with those people because they will be arguing people. They are not the people who would perceive, then self-constructing people. They only want to show their intelligence and knowledge, and they want to be showing their pride in a selective atmosphere of dignified assembly. So these people who are boastful of their knowledge and studies, they are not a party to us anymore. So we will have no truck with these people who think that they are separate from you. I am not distinctly different from you when I have spoken the truth and you have accepted it. Where's the difference now? Maybe I have spoken the truth, but you have the full capacity to understand the truth, so there's no difference at all.
So, this word sometimes it goes missing wrongly understood. We have no touch with other people. What I realize is there is no other people.
Before that, whether we can have truck with these people or not, that's important. You are a person who can elevate yourself from one plane to next level, higher ascendancy is possible for you, and you want to go for that, or you want to stay with the people who not only stay on the ground level, but they are being buried every day. They are immersed every day. They are drowned every day in their own falsehood. Will you have any truck with these people? Even if you give your hand to pull them up, they will put you down. Can we have truck with these people?
What is it? The division is not.
First, I'm going to hear you what you're saying. First thing is principle-wise. The law, the rule of God now says you want to get elevated or you want to be put down by these ground living people. Now what's the question? Based on that, actually I understood this, what's the question?
My seeking elevation is everyone is seeking elevation. Now I don't have to divide in my mind anything called they and me as separate because every individual among the they.
There is now a distinct separation between good and bad.
That is known to me.
Known to everyone. Good and bad, justice and injustice, right and wrong. Everyone knows there's a clear-cut definition distinctly. Not only by definition, by way of activity, you can assess also to a certain extent, not absolutely. To whatever extent I have decided that you have got certain pride, to that extent, I am relieving myself, I don't touch that particular subject. So in this way, I am maintaining my level of ascendancy and let them keep their ground level of standing. So I will not touch the point. While I am talking to the person, I will know whether he accepts or whether he rejects. So the more the argument is going on, at some stage you have to stop if you have certain understanding of it. And let them think that they have won over the argument. Don't try to beat them by lowering yourself to that level so that ascendancy has been heavily brought you down here and you will not be finding an ascendancy again. Because all those that wisdom, you have used it for lower purpose. To outbeat them. If you have some sense, don't argue with the people who are arguing.
Argument.
No, I'm not saying you are arguing with me. Why we should not have any talk with these people on those particular lines?
I think that's also I'm talking. Like I wouldn't want to argue with another person, but I would continue to remain gentle, kind, and not create a holier than thou feeling. It is God's great mercy upon me, and I am surviving and I'm in good health.
Nobody will have that feeling holier than thou. Nobody can assess one to be holier than the other person. That's not the question at all. As long as you have that distinction in you, don't try to merge it with the lesser people, and that distinction, let it not be merging with bad and good into oneness. After it, it is very difficult to separate it again. So then don't let it become a homogeneous mixture. Let the particle be particle, let the liquid be liquid, let the air be air. Let all these things not combine into one homogeneous mixture. It is absolutely not allowed. So, if you have some evil, I will not accept that. If you are 99% evil, 1% good, I only touch that part 1%. I will invite you to my plane and I will talk in that 1% level and I let you go down. While going down, you can stand at 2% level, 5%, 10% level, God only knows. But let's be prayerful. Even that 1% I'm utilizing, that good conduct of yourself, good quality of yourself. I speak only on those lines. I am beginning to exchange certain thing I have as my clarifications as to the truth. And another person feigns he knows all the truth. That is possible to understand as the conversation goes on, and it edges on to argument level. So how do you understand the argument is starting and the exchanges are now not taking place? You say your point of view, I am saying my point of view, there's an exchange. When I will understand, it is getting into the argumentative level.
Never, that should never be.
Now I and you are talking. When one man's voice is getting thicker, slowly I will understand it's getting onto argument. It is the time we should stop.
And argument always functions from pride. It is never.
When somebody's sound is increasing, then we must know things are going the wrong way. So I have some stuff to talk to you because I have some pride. You have some stuff to talk to you, you have some pride. As your stuff is going down, your voice is growing thicker. I know it is time that I must stop. Allowing you some victory. That's all. So we will not be stepping down. We will not be using our intelligence to fight the ground level. We will use our intelligence to climb up further. So you will not have any track with these people on such side where they are totally grounded.
While you are there with them, you may not have any club mindfully because you don't seek for except you are one with the Supreme Almighty.
And you must make them understand at no point of time they will meddle with your personal or family life. Even if I am to die, nobody should come and say, you do this and you do that. Make this point very clear to them.
Declaration here.
Very clear to them. Even if I were to die, you cannot come here with the intention taking me to the top. If that is the case, don't enter my house. You must say these things clearly. Then you can have. So the doors are closed where it should be closed. If you don't say that, definitely you'll be in trouble at times of crisis.
They will try to own you.
So always be very clear. Allah says, don't join with the evil. If they got that evil ways of life, definitely they will try to impose it on you at times of crisis. So you have to tell them much before such situations. You cannot say a single word against our decision to stay with Allah when we are in a crisis. You will not take us to doctors with the intention you will never enter the house. That must be clear to them.
Not for any reason.
Huh?
It's not a doctor for any reason.
Tell me, what are you going for?
Emergency, accident. Sometimes
Tell me, what are you going to the doctors? What for are you going to the doctors to tell me? To save your life? To save your life? Doctors know the creation of life. Are they the creators of life? And you are going to them to save their life, leaving God behind you?
He got fractured. He got fractured. Right. After this, some sister, he has to undergo surgery. There, white lungs are not there, lung is there, it may pierce the lung. So, we take care of them. Want to do surgery.
You know the collarbone here?
Yes, sir.
3 pieces.
3 pieces gone in different ways.
Calm down.
On the left side, where there is a primary heart, it can be
Yes.
pierced any time, lungs can be pierced any time. In no time, he will die. So, operation is immediate.
These 2 ends and 1 piece is gone down. How it got in it? How it came about? How it got in it? Without any gold task.
Who brought it into the perfect alliance?
He said, he said, he said, Daddy, of course, the body. Suppose if it goes for the mall union, how can I play cricket? Of course, immediately it will get invited with a but suppose if it is mall union, will it come to the same force, same power will I get? If I don't get, how can I play the cricket? So playing cricket after the tournament. No mall union.
But I told him, don't do all such nonsense. Your life is not for sport and fun.
And I recollect you mentioning that when it joins again, it reinforces the structure, knowing that you are.
It's a new creation. There's no reinforces. It's a new creation. If it has not gone in for any such sort of weakness, how it would have been at the age of 25 years, he would have got it such a beautiful creation all anew. A replacement. It's not a reparative process going on there.
And we don't have any bandage or anything.
No bandages.
To
First thing what we did is throw away that bandage. That rounds bandage.
All about the very good band. I broke.
And he has to lie down on the bed in such an unconventional, dangerous position for one night, after which he got cured totally.
that position was self-induced, isn't it?
No.
Yeah. No, it was without my.
It was natural turning.
Actually,
Suppose if the
I was
bone is
sitting
not
down.
fractured and there is no displacement, you agree it got inverted spontaneously. But it is displaced. Bone gone down.
Actually, displaced fracture has to be
Without
operated.
displacement is okay. It got inverted spontaneously. That is because of spontaneous.
So that position brought it back to normal. Normally you want to.
How this happened, whether he thinks of God or he is telling and we don't know how it happened.
That's why we are teaching the people to believe in God. I want to know a small sperm, how it grow into a 6-footer. There's no question of how, whether it happens or not. That's important.
And of course, what he says is we are so delighted to see the level of faith. The suspense is how father is having faith. How did he tolerate it? Was he not having weakness that what am I?
Yeah, no, I was already in this system of yeah. I was not taking medicines.
So God removes the pain. God removes the pain is nothing but the pain in the heart. He removes that worry. He removes that anxiety. Everything is removed. Doctors are full of giving anxious looks and their advices. Immediate operation danger, this and that. Nothing fell in my ears, nothing entered my heart. Only God's message is there. Always the remembrance of God. He is there with me. He infuses now more than what you have thought about Him. This is what God gives you in plentiful time. What you actually show towards me as a gesture of gratitude.
After the accident, he became unconscious. He was in ICU. The principal, I was in a coma state. The principal of the college, he talked to me on the phone. He is now sent for the CT scan brain. He required surgery. All the faculties were all waiting for the report. He required surgery. Now I starting from my place to the hospital. Contact Dr. Sachin. He said, go to the hospital, be prayerful. I gone to the hospital with my classmate neurosurgeon. He was a emergency chief in the neurosurgery department. And then sitting quietly, no surgery, nothing. They said, we will see tomorrow. Next day morning, you are sitting quietly in the bed, you are conscious. Nothing. How you totally change? They are expecting so much of complication, they are expecting surgery. The whole picture changed overnight. Who changed the picture?
But you didn't demand him to be discharged. You allowed him to stay.
Night he was in coma stage.
They were in
Reached the hospital around night 11 o'clock.
So they came from here to Bonner. Traveled overnight, came early morning. Then very soon they discharged me and took me home.
That time there was an
He's telling him, why don't you get discharged the night 11:30? He asked him, who will?
I remember there was
Somebody has
an
to
altercation between them with you when you were trying to discharge him. They were angry.
Yeah, next day.
So it is on Allah's,
decisions were always-
Allah's decision
So
when what should happen. Only thing is whether we have totally applied our consciousness towards the conscience or not. There ends the matter, whether he is there or not, that's not a matter. Only to take rest in the night and come back in the morning after fighting with the principal.
We won't allow them to do surgery. We were given accommodation, we stayed there. Like, let us go back in the morning with the
So they were hostile to you. I remember.
Yeah. Next day they became this strongly advised. We are the body of Bravo. We will operate, we take care of it. We asked to undergo surgery immediately. The vice principal, orthopedic surgeon.
Father is a doctor, he is a surgeon. We are the guardian.
You clashed.
When father is there, he is the guardian.
And,
Father is already dead.
They insulted you also. They said you are something.
I said I am having hospital. If necessary, you will do surgery. Please discharge. I didn't say anything about me or whatever our ideas. Discharging, I will take that. I come to you once, we reached the hospital. My hospital surgeon, they came and started. We have to do surgery, we have to do surgery. They were all coming daily to our hospital. After seeing Rahul, have to do, you do surgery. Keep quiet. He was laying on the bed. All the relatives came from distant places. They also saw that, why you what are you doing?
And that plan is to do surgery within a week. And after the surgery, he must take 1 month rest and he will be able to slowly move. That's what their advice. And the prognosis, total relative betterment, he must wait for 1 month at least after the operation. On the 7th day, 10th day, he went to hospital fully.
You became okay in 7 days.
After
10
7
days.
days, after 7 days, I asked him, how is the pain? Still 7 days was having pain. Daddy, almost I don't have And then on 8th they asked me, Daddy, what shall I do? What do you want to do? What do you ask me? What do you want to say? When can I go to college? If you want, you can go to college. Well, any moment, can I go tomorrow? 9th day you go to college. 9th
Still, they didn't.
No, they were feigning surprise because they didn't expect him to come back so soon. Their medical knowledge is gone totally, and his principal would not have liked him seeing so well. Definitely, we know that. All the countenance fell.
Nobody asked me anything. They just smiled at me. They just went back. They didn't even ask what did you do. How was the
Because they didn't want it to happen.
They were
It has
so
happened.
proud. They were so proud. Totally rejecting your belief. They were so proud. That means proud. People rejecting. Alas. True.
So this is the people with whom you are living. So totally cut them off. Don't have any trust with them.
However, I keep telling this that when we are modeled,
Read 6:159. Going in context with this
6,
159.
no, you have nothing to do with those who divide 6.
So those who divide between the conscience and consciousness and sight towards the consciousness don't have any trust with them.
Have nothing to do with those who have split up their religion into sects, SECs. Their case rests with God, who will tell them about what they used to do.
Don't try to contemplate much on those things. The family members are the worst creatures for every believing individual. I am not pointing out to anyone, but I am saying the truth. Your sons and your family are a great test for you.
What keeps me motivated is like at one elder brother in Calcutta, he made a comment. So I want to confess to you, Satan. You have been a very positive influence for the whole family, whatever said and done. Because controversy was there, except for one brother. Every other brother was feeling that Saifi is talking sense. So now there is a war between one brother who is totally believing in that God-man and rest of the 6 brothers who are diluted and turning to Portuguese. Whenever there is issue, they call me and ask for some verse to counter His Holiness belief. So that motivates me to continue associating.
Hello. Doctor busy இருக்காங்க. நாளைக்கு பேசுங்க. டாக்டர் பிஸியா இருக்காங்க. நாளைக்கு பேசுங்க.
So, regarding this, read 541. Their mouths say you have positive influence. Their hearts say, still I will not follow. They say we believe you, but in their hearts they deny you.
Messenger, do not be grieved by those who vie with one another.
541.
Do not be grieved by those who vie with one another in denying the truth. Those who say with their tongues, we believe, that have no faith in their hearts. From among the Jews also, there are those who listen eagerly to any.
No, that's enough. And again, in 613, Allah makes them follow their own ways because they speak from the tongue, not from the heart.
630.
613.
In order that the hearts of those who do not believe in the light to come might incline towards God's suggestion and being pleased persist in their sinful ways.
So things are moving so fast towards their destiny, but they don't understand. Read 613. போயிடுங்க அடுத்த வாரம் பார்ப்போம். 600 yeah.
In order that the hearts of those who do not believe in the light to come might incline towards God's suggestion.
This is because they are people belonging to 541. They say with the tongue we believe, but their hearts don't. So they say what they don't believe. They say wrongly what their hearts don't believe. They want to say one thing different to that their own hearts are rejecting. When they say you, we believe. Will they come out of their community?
Another brother commented like this. His son wanted to do something in partnership with me.
In?
His son
Want to?
to do some partnership with me, like selling an office space. So his father said no. Then I asked his father, because elder brother, I said, what's wrong? Why are you not agree? Then he openly tells me that you seem to be able to influence my son